Hi guys, hope you're doing well today. It's Fred and Sheila with Hatfield, McCoy Museum Adventures and Fred and Sheila Investigates.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. This is going to be part 4 to this series of videos on Sheila's channel.
Mm-hmm.
Funny thing is, I've got the same thing series going on my channel on another topic, another subject, so I easy to get confused on what number we're on. Guys, you can look in the background there of mine and Sheila's head, and it says events.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be covering the events poster board that the Hatfield McCoy Historical Society
Okay.
at Logan, West Virginia, has put out. Now, I think Larry Chaffins is in charge of that group, and William Keith Hatfield, the man that says that he's the descendant of Devil Ants, and Tennis Hatfield is the president of that group. And if I'm correct, you can tell that from the way the history is given on these boards, because it's incorrect. It's like somebody that's wanting to, like they've done for years, they've wanted to make a hero out of Devil Ants, especially, and the West Virginia Hatfields. The Devil Ants Hatfields, not West Virginia Hatfields. There's some good Hatfields in West Virginia. When I talk West Virginia Hatfields, I'm not talking about all the Hatfields or all the McCoys in West Virginia. It's the ones that was in the Hatfield gang, Devil Ants Hatfield gang. First video we're going to show is, or the first board will be that one. Yeah.
Here.
Guys, that's one of the boards. They fixed up several boards for the Historical Society, and they're either at the uh, camp over there, or they're at the cemetery, the Devil Ants Hatfield Cemetery, for Memorial Day. They had them for 2 or 3 days, and they were showing people the way I understand it.
Okay.
We covered this in the last video, I believe. I won't harp on it a lot, but it says the war spirit in me has abated, and I sincerely rejoice at the prospect of peace. Devil Ants Hatfield. Guys, according to the Hatfield feud page, and according to the newspaper that they're quoting, they say it's Cap Hatfield said that. Cap Hatfield said that, not Devil Ants. Hatfield McCoy feud page on Facebook, Keith Davis's side. I think Sheila put it in the last video. She'll probably even throw it at the back of this one so you can see it.
Okay.
They say that Cap Hatfield said that. Cap Hatfield's the one that supposedly got his wife to write a letter and send it to the newspaper, asking that the feud end and so forth. Guys, you can't go out here. What's that? You can't, once you let the genie out of the bottle, you can't put her back. What? You go out here and kill 5 children of a man, burn his house, beat his wife, and then say, all right, let's call it. Don't work like that. Drop the charges. Come on, man. Drop the charges on us. Drop the warrants. Recall the indictments. Come on, man. Don't work like that. So they can put all the letters in the newspaper they wanted, and they can say anything they want. The charges were never dropped. When those men, when Devil Ants and Cap went to their grave, they still had felony murder indictment warrants on them from Kentucky, contrary to any kind of letter he wrote in the newspaper, or anybody that said there's a truce being called. There's never a truce. Cap Hatfield and Devil Ants just never came back to Kentucky. Once the Supreme Court ruled on extradition, and once they figured out that they wasn't going to extradite Devil Ants and Cap from West Virginia, not with Henry D. Hatfield, the governor, all the politics going on in the family, just wasn't going to happen. Big votes, a lot of votes. A lot of votes carries a lot of weight, especially in eastern Kentucky and southern West Virginia. So we're going to put a thing at the back on this one. Okay. We'll go to the next picture.
Just a second.
Take your time.
Put it up. Does it matter which one?
Yeah, this one right there.
Okay.
This one's going to be real fast, guys.
There you
This
go.
is real fast. This is a board that they made up, and I haven't gone over it real good. I'm sure there's more. This one just stood out. I know they put Perry Klein on there. They put Frank Phillips. It's funny that they put Perry Klein. They put Frank Phillips. I don't see what's that guy's name that was with uh, Jim Vance the on Grapevine Creek when they killed him. It was the deputy sheriff. What was his name? I can't never remember his.
Uh,
Was he a
was it Dan
deputy?
Chambers?
No, no, that's in Hubert Bay case. Guys, do you see Jim Vance anywhere on here? You don't see Jim Vance. You don't see
Interesting.
the other guy that got killed. I can't remember that Frank Phillips killed during the Grapevine battle, and you don't see any of these outsiders on the Hatfield side. There were several. You don't see skunk-haired Tom Wallace.
Mm-mm.
You don't see Alex Messer. You don't see Cotton Top. You don't see none of those people on the Hatfield. You see Ellison Hatfield and uh, newer pictures of the newer pictures of the Hatfields. It looks like newer family members.
Yeah.
But on the McCoy side, you see Perry Klein.
Mm-hmm.
Perry Klein was the youngest sheriff ever elected in Pike County. Was a lawyer. Was a county attorney. Was a jailer. Prosecutor. Was a representative. State representative. To not live no longer than he lived, he made a mark in Pike County history. No blood relation to Randall McCoy, contrary to what they want you to believe, and putting him up here on this poster like this. He's Perry Klein was no blood relation to Randall McCoy. Some people said, "Oh, he's his uncle. Oh, he was his cousin. Oh, he was his." No blood relation. Perry Klein wasn't. Perry Klein was just a regular person, public official in Pikeville, Kentucky, that tried to help one of his citizens, Randall
Mm-hmm.
McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to help him get justice for what happened to him and his family. Because Perry Klein's sister was married to Asa McCoy. No blood relation to Randall, no blood relation to Asa. He was the brother in law
Right.
to Asa McCoy. So he knows what happened. After Asa McCoy was killed, Perry Klein raised Bud Jr., Lark, Jacob. He
Mm-hmm.
raised the boys. Nancy, he helped Martha, his sister, raise their children. I see Frank Phillips down there at the bottom right.
Yeah.
Frank Phillips, no blood relation. Now, they don't have Jim Vance or none of these other guys here, but they got Frank Phillips down there as if they're in cahoots. Frank Phillips, guys, was either a deputy sheriff or a state police officer. With all his involvement, you're going to hear about bounty hunter and so like forth like that. I won't elaborate right now because we're going to go over it. But basically, what this poster was about, and she'll probably put an arrow or something, a circle or something. But there's a picture there of it says Asa Harmon McCoy. That's Asa Harmon McCoy. That's Asa Harmon Bud McCoy Jr. That's not Asa Harmon McCoy, Patsy Cline's husband. That was this fellow's dad, Asa
Mm-hmm.
Harmon McCoy Sr. They got the wrong picture there for Asa Harmon. Now, you can Google Asa Harmon McCoy. How hard, how hard is it to Google Asa Harmon McCoy? Asa Harmon McCoy, his picture is about as famous as Randall McCoy or Devil Anse. He was the first one killed in the Hatfield
Mm-hmm.
McCoy conflict.
Yep.
For some reason, did they do it intentionally, like they did the spelling feud wrong on Randall McCoy's tombstone, Pike County Tourism? When they put that up, they spelled feud wrong. They had to do it intentionally because had it been a mistake, the monument company would have been responsible for correcting that mistake. It's never been corrected. They've left it like that all these years so people can make fun of Randall McCoy's family and Randall McCoy's tombstone, his monument. Got news for you guys. Randall McCoy and Sarah McCoy and Rosanna had rocks marking their graves.
Mm-hmm.
Randall McCoy and Sarah and Rosanna were not rich people. They didn't steal from people. They didn't steal their timber. They didn't steal their land. They didn't steal their horses or pigs. They were poor or average. He
Yeah.
owned a 300-acre farm. He owns that big house there in Pikeville where the Italian restaurant's at now. If you've never ate there, you need to eat there.
Chericos.
Cherico's, great
Mhm.
food. Plus, you can go upstairs, go through and look at Randall McCoy's house. That's
And
the
see
last
the
place.
actual wood
Yeah.
upstairs, which is
Oh,
really,
Sheila
really
loves it.
cool. Oh, I love going up there and looking at it. Every time we go, that's what we do. We go upstairs and just look, even though we've seen it
And eat.
before.
And they have
They
good,
just,
great food.
they do.
They have great sub sandwiches and
Hmm.
wrong picture there, guys. We
Yeah.
won't harp on it. But this is just another board that you'd think you was going to put something out there in history. You would have the correct people. You wouldn't worry about Frank Phillips. You wouldn't worry about Perry Klein. You wouldn't worry about they didn't. They didn't worry about Jim Vance and all of them. They didn't put Jim Vance. They just put the Hatfields and ever who these new people are.
Yeah,
I don't know.
who they are.
I didn't look at that beforehand.
Is it somebody like maybe Henry Jury?
I don't
Maybe.
know. Don't know. Are they trying to put? Are they trying to add some new people to it to make new people famous? Maybe we got some new spokesmen coming up for Pike County tourism or West Virginia or this so-called Hatfield McCoy Historical Society. Maybe they're going to introduce some new people later on. Guys, let's go on to the next one, baby. Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Okay, here you go.
Here's Johnny. Now, is that as big as that will get?
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Well, that's okay.
Can you
I hope they can read it.
put it on yours over there?
I've got my notes made over here. Guys, it said William Anderson, Devil Anse Hatfield, is born in Logan, Virginia, present day West Virginia,
Okay.
1839. Up above that, on the other side, it says 1825. Randall McCoy is born in the Tug Valley, Kentucky. Well, he was born in Kentucky. He was born at Blackberry Fork. He was born where the farm's at.
Mm-hmm.
He was born in Kentucky. 1825, 1839. Take 39 minus 25, and you should come up with 14. Randall McCoy was 14 years older than Devil Anse. See what the next one is. Well, we don't want to go to the, 1865. On the right there, Asa Harmon McCoy is killed, possibly by the Confederate Logan Wildcats or by Devil Anse's uncle, Jim Vance. Ain't that something? And this is not our first rodeo. This is not the first video we've ever done where they completely, Devil Anse was homesick, Devil Anse changed his mind, Devil Anse. And that's when you know that the book was either written by a Hatfield or Hatfield sympathizer or somebody like this that's from Oklahoma or somewhere and making it up as they go. And 1865, Asa Harmon was probably killed by the Logan Wildcats or Jim Vance. Really? Really? Guys, Jim Vance was not in the Logan Wildcats. Jim Vance was not in the Civil War. Devil Anse wasn't in the Logan Wildcats for that matter. That's when they were called the Tug Valley Raiders. That's before they turned into after Jesse James, Frank and Jesse James come up with their gangs, then they turned into the Hatfield gang. Jim Vance was not in the Logan Wildcats. He was not even in the Civil War. Contrary to the myths, contrary to the photoshopped Civil War papers and so forth, he never served. Now, going down in history, when Sheila and I are dead and gone and all this and that, people will see his grave, his tombstone that they've ordered for him and put up there. They didn't even know where Jim Vance was buried at, guys. Jim Vance is no more in that grave than Fred McCoy. They put a rock there. I'd say there's not even a real grave there, more than likely. Don't know that, but I know it's not Jim Vance because we talked to people way back that they didn't know where Jim Vance was buried, and they just thought, well, this would be as good a spot as any for him. Since he was killed in Thacker Holler there, we'll just Sam McCoy, there was 2 books written. Sam McCoy and T.C. Crawford. We discussed them in the last video. T.C. Crawford and Sam McCoy. That's the people that were there. That was the people that interviewed people. Sam McCoy lived it. He was on the posses. Sam McCoy went and seen Patsy the day that Asa Harmon was killed. Went and seen his Aunt Patsy. And Patsy told him that old man, Jim Vance, came calling, along with Aunt Hatfield and a whole group of men. Old man Jim Vance, Devil Anse Hatfield, and a whole group of men came calling for Asa. She told him he wasn't home, and they followed her footprints through the snow up behind Blackberry Grade School, up on the hill there to the cave that Sheila and I have done a video on. They followed her footprints because she had taken his breakfast to him. There's always been a myth whether it was her or Pete. Their slave. They had one slave, Pete, even though Asa Harmon fought for the Union. They had one slave. We did a video years ago on how much involvement the Civil War really had to do with slavery, where Abraham Lincoln actually says he would free a few slaves, he would free half the slaves, he would free all the slaves if he had to, but he wanted to win that war. It was all about taxes. It was all about control over each state. They wanted control over their own state. Throughout the years, people turned it into a slavery deal. Abraham Lincoln said he would a few slaves, or he would free all of them, whatever he had to do to win that war. It was about winning the war, not about slavery. Sam McCoy was there. He went calling, and she told him with her own voice who was there. Anse Hatfield, Jim Vance, and a whole group of men. That was the Logan, not the Logan Wildcat. That was the Tug Valley Raiders that came calling. Wouldn't be the Logan Wildcats. The war, he's been discharged. He's no longer in the military. He's been shot in the leg or the hip, and he come home to mend. He's been discharged. 1870. Let's go to this, guys. Let's go to 1870. Let's don't go to 1870. There's 1865, Asa Harmon.
Okay.
Where's 1867 at? Where's 1867? Sheila will put about right here a real pig trial, a real court case, real documents from the Pike County Courthouse. 1867, pig trial. Ellison Hatfield, pig stealing, Ellison Hatfield, the brother to Devil Anse Hatfield, the one that was at the Kentucky election, inebriated, drunk, on moonshine, and challenged Tolbert McCoy to a fight. Try that on me, he says. And it went south from there. No matter how it turned out, he's at a Kentucky election. He's from West Virginia. He couldn't even vote there. He came there looking for trouble. He came there looking to intimidate voters to vote the way that they wanted them to vote. Irrelevant. He's also a pig thief. In 1867, now he's also deserted the war. He's done deserted the war back in 63 also when Devil Anse did. So he's already been stealing livestock and pigs and farming tools, anything he could from these men that's out fighting in war. Confederate or Union, it doesn't matter. The real men of that time were out fighting war. They were out around the county or the state. The only people that was at home like that was home guards. They called themselves home guards, where they could say, we come home to protect the home front. They came home because they were afraid to fight. They were cowards, and they deserted. Call them home guards, call them Logan Wildcats, call them Raiders, call them Hatfield Gang. They cowered out. Go ahead, I hear you.
T.C. Crawford called them bank robbers and murderers.
I wonder where you got that from, babe.
He said that he was talking about the home guard, and he said they weren't really home guard.
We know that.
That they were.
I'm being facetious.
Bank robbers and murderers.
He got that from Devil Anse. He interviewed Devil Anse, and Devil Anse told him, yeah, we came home. we told everybody was with the Home Guard. Devil Anse, if you got him to talking, just from looking at research and newspaper articles and stuff, he was a windjammer. He was much like William Keith Hatfield, Rio Hatfield, Ron McCoy, Bo McCoy, Jack Hatfield. He's like them. He's a windjammer. Now me, I can talk all day long. Nobody ever say I'm short on talking. I'm anything but a man of few words, but I try to stick to the truth. I try to stick to facts. Truth with proof.
Yep.
That's what we try to
Yeah.
do. Some people just talk it in the history. Let's go on. 1867 pig trial is not there. Now, by now, you've already looked at this court case and you know that there's an 1867 pig trial that really happened. That's in the court records in Pike County, Kentucky courthouse. Why is that not on this board? Events of the Hatfield-McCoy feud, events, and the 1867 pig trial is not there where Ellis and Hatfield stole 4 pigs from a Kentucky McCoy. It's not there. But wait a minute. What comes up after 1870? After 1870, there's 1878 pig trial, imaginary pig trial. I've got to go back to 1870. That's my big thing.
Okay.
So let's come back to 1878 in a minute. 1878 is an imaginary pig trial. It didn't happen. It happened in books. It happened in movies, but there's no record that it really occurred in real life. It's an imaginary pig. Kentucky Historical Society says there was another one in 1873. They mention 1873 and 1878. Pike County Tourism even says it happened on March the 1st. I'm sorry, May the 1st.
Yeah.
May 1st. Happened on May the 1st, 1878, the trial for the stolen pig. Well, in their driving video, they say that in the fall of 1878, Randall McCoy went out gathering his pigs and noticed one of his pigs was gone. Floyd Hatfield had it. Fall of 1878, we're already having a trial, May the 1st of 1878. See how they do, guys? They underestimate your ability to think. They underestimate your ability to look at a calendar and tell which comes first, the fall or May. They think people are stupid. You people that's been on these tour buses and on these van rides and on these, they think you're stupid. Now, I'll just put it to you straight out. For them to tell you what they tell you and think that you're going to believe it, and some of you have, and I guess that's what gave them confidence to make them a CD and put whatever they want out there because they think people's stupid. Guys, let's go up here to 1878. Let's go in between 1865 and 1878, and let's go to 1870. The courts awarded Devil Anse property that had been claimed by Asa Harmon McCoy's brother-in-law, Perry Klein. Now, please listen to what I'm saying real good, because Sheila and I have covered this so many times. The courts awarded Devil Anse designated, looks like, property that had been claimed by Asa Harmon McCoy, Perry Klein, the brother-in-law of Perry Klein, his brother-in-law, Perry Klein. Guys, where's the court records for that? Go ahead, babe. I know you got something to say.
No, it's just that's.
Where's the court records? We've asked and asked. We've got a list of about 35 things over the years. Cap Hatfield's law degree, all these different things that's imaginary. Court case for 1878. The land trial. The acquitted. They said that Sam McCoy was acquitted in a trial, a court of law, and he was acquitted for killing Bill Staten.
Yeah.
All these things we've asked for, none of them have been produced. And we love it when they say there's a court trial. Because if there's a court trial,
there should be a paper trail. There should be something proving it.
Should be paper trail. Should be court documents, court records. Y'all can read it right there. The courts awarded Devil Anse Hatfield. If the courts awarded Devil Anse Hatfield property, where's the documentation? Where's the disposition from that case at? Because Sheila and I have been from Charleston to Frankfort, from Mingo to Logan, from Logan to Pike. We have been to every county seat, every city, every anywhere that we thought there would be Pike County or Logan County court records that we could get. In all the years, we don't have much, but I would bet you anything that we own that you're never going to find a court document where a court has given Devil Anse Hatfield property from either Perry Klein or from Randall McCoy. Because some of the rumors says, oh no, it wasn't Perry Klein, it was Randall McCoy that took his property. Randall McCoy lived in Kentucky, guys. Didn't have no property in West Virginia. Sheila come up with something good a while ago. Me and Sheila have been talking. We was talking about American Vendetta and the book, T.C. Crawford. And we got to talking about this, and it came up that Devil Anse Hatfield talked to T.C. Crawford. They talked about everything from sleeping outside in caves to cooking pheasants to the victuals that T.C. Crawford said he could not eat, that Levacy made. He couldn't eat the cooking. He insulted her cooking. He insulted Levacy.
Yeah.
T.C. Crawford did not like the West Virginia Devil Anse Hatfield family. Now, he liked Good Elias. He thought Good Elias was an honorable man. He liked Good Elias. He did not like Devil Anse and Cat or Levacy. Here's the question. Why is it that nowhere in American Vendetta they talked about everything under the sun, even imaginary, even hypothetical crimes? Why is it that nowhere in there, that all through after 1948, starting with Otis Rice and different ones, they start talking about, well, there was a land dispute where that land dispute really caused some tension between them. Sorry, am I pulling your hair apart?
No, you're good. You're good.
Really caused some tension when he won that 5,000 acres in court. Why is it, guys? Or has any of you ever thought about this? Why is it Devil Anse Hatfield didn't mention anything to T.C. Crawford about a land dispute? Never mentioned it to T.C. Crawford. One of the biggest things, you talk to anybody that don't know anything about the feud, and you ask them what started the feud, and they'll say the pig, the love affair, and timber, land and timber dispute. Randall McCoy was not a timber. Perry Klein didn't timber. Randall McCoy didn't own any property in West Virginia. Perry Klein's father owned some land in West Virginia, and Perry Klein inherited a bunch of land that supposedly Devil Anse stole from him. That's why he became a lawyer, so he wouldn't get hoodooed anymore. He said that Devil Anse took the land from him by the barrel of a gun or something like that. He was 12 years old at the time when his dad, when Big Jake died. Nothing in court, guys. No court records. Nothing in T.C. Crawford's book, American Vendetta. Is that something T.C. Crawford, he wrote about everything from getting hemorrhoids crossing a creek to riding on a horseback all the way from Charleston from the train to, he wrote about everything in the country, but he never mentioned a land dispute.
That's right. That's right. And that would be something that I think Devil Anse would like to talk about or to take.
If it happened.
If it happened.
If it came from Devil Anse. Didn't come from Devil Anse, guys. There was nothing like that. That came from book writers. That came later on in history from book writers. They wrote that into history. Just like Will Keith has written in the history that the McCoys were horse thieves, the McCoys were vermin, that he is the great-grandson of Devil Anse. He's written that into history. Forevermore, you can't go back to the newspapers from 10 years ago and change that. Go to your microfilm 10 years ago and look at Ashland, Kentucky, historical markers put up on the graves of Jim McCoy and Floyd McCoy buried in Ashland, Kentucky, Boyd County, and look it up and you'll see William Keith standing there with his sunglasses on holding his Bible. William Keith Hatfield, the great-grandson of Devil Anse Hatfield. Not true. A lie. Not true. How are you going to change it? What are you going to do if they don't go watch our video or read our book after the fact? Now, we don't have that. We're on our sixth edition, 900 pages, sixth edition. And between the McKays, instead
Yeah.
of McCoys having the rage disease,
Yeah.
between William Keith not being a descendant of Devil Ants, between Rio Hatfield not being the descendant of Devil Ant Hatfield, we're going to have to do a seventh edition. We don't even sell our books, but we want it to go down in history for somebody someday, for the ones that did get them. And we only order a few when we redo it, and we'll sell what we got, and we're done with it. So you talk about a collectible item, we have it. We sell so many, and they're gone. And that's less than 100. And they're gone. They're done for. 1870, no trial, guys. No trial. 1878, no trial, guys. No pig trial. No land trial, no pig trial. They put it on these boards, they put it in these books, and they think you're gullible. And most of you are, I'm sorry to say. Most of you are, except the ones that watches mine and Sheila's channel. Because if you watch mine and Sheila's channel, you're wanting the truth. And you know that if you watch our channel, we're going to show you the truth
with proof.
With proof. With proof. And if you don't have proof, that's what you don't have. You don't have a trial. You don't have something that they're saying has happened. You don't have it. Because a trial would be something you would have a record of. If you've got a trial of an 1867 pig trial, which she showed you by now, 1867 pig trial, why wouldn't you have a land dispute trial of 1870? Why wouldn't you have a pig trial court case of 1878? If you're keeping records in 1867, court records and dispositions, why wouldn't you have them in 1870, 1878? You would have. They are. We got court records from all kinds of stuff. Just not that, which means it didn't happen. Randolph's sons, Sam and Paris, killed Bill Staton, 1880. Randolph's sons, Sam and Paris, killed Bill Staton.
No.
Go ahead, babe. I'm just trying to get
That's
caught
incorrect, guys. Sam and Paris were not Randall McCoy's sons. Did you find it?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I went through a bunch of my notes already just from memory and from me and you talking. And she just now told you guys.
Yeah, no, that's incorrect.
Sam and Paris McCoy were Randall McCoy's nephews. You'll hear YouTubers, see it in books where people says Sam McCoy went to trial, but he was acquitted. He was found not guilty. Where's the court record? Again, where is the court record? 1880. If you've got a court case from 1867, and we've got some in the 50s, ain't we, baby? If you've got them from the 50s, why wouldn't you have them in 70, 78, 80? Exactly. You would have. Didn't happen. They spoke it into history. Not Randall's sons, written into history on this board were Randall McCoy's nephews. Also say court trial, that acquitted. There's no trial where Sam McCoy was ever acquitted. There's an old warrant out there, guys, whether it was Photoshop, because it didn't come up for years later. Sheila and I didn't find it for years later. And it's for 1882. Is it Photoshop, something they just come out with? There's an old warrant for Sam McCoy. Is it for Bill Staton? Is it in relation to Bill Staton, or is it in relation to somebody else he killed? Or is it Sam McCoy at all? Is it even
that Sam McCoy?
Again, you've got Randall McCoys, you've got Sam McCoys, you've got Samuel McCoys, you've got Asa McCoys, you've got Elizabeth McCoys. These names back then was passed down from generation to generation in honor of a sibling or a parent. Dated 1882, that warrant that would have been 2 years after Bill Staton was killed. So I have a feeling we don't know either way. If we don't have facts, if we don't know, we say we don't know. We've always
Yeah.
been like that.
Exactly.
People's called us before and asked us questions, and we've said we don't know. And they say, you ain't going to take a guess. You ain't going to know. No, if we can't answer you, we don't know. And then when we say that, next thing you know, you'll see a YouTube video, you'll see, and they'll say this and that, because we can't call them out on it. We don't know one way or the other, but they've made up their mind that this person did this or that, and they put it down as a fact. They put down and say, and that's simply not the way it happens. 35 minutes.
Okay.
Guys,
Wow, really?
we feel this was an interesting board.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting board.
Well, look at all the things.
Totally.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say all the things that's on the Hatfield side and the three things on the McCoy side.
Totally incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
Totally made up. And if it was done by the Hatfield McCoy Historical Society, shame on you. Shame on you guys for trying to pass this stuff off, because if it is done by them, Mr. Chaffins is familiar enough with me and Sheila to know he's bragged on us. Great job, guys, my friends. Great job, my friends. Well, my friend, terrible job if you did this, or if you allowed William Keith Hatfield to do this. Terrible job on your part, because these are not true. These boards are good to start a campfire on a camping trip. That's what they're good for. They are incorrect. Why would you want to pass on incorrect information? Why would you want to promote things that some of this we've even discussed in years past, in books and videos? Some things he's even bragged on and said, good, my friends, good job. Keep the truth coming. We want the truth. Well, if this is the same Hatfield McCoy Society that he belongs to, or he started, or evidently he doesn't. Evidently he speaks with a forked tongue. I got you, baby. I know. And I like this old man. He's been, me and him's had some good conversations. I respected him. But then I go see this stuff, and I see where William Keith is the president of an organization where he stands and talks to newspapers and TVs and introduces himself as the grandson of Devil Anse Hatfield. And Mr. Chaffins is standing there and he's listening to this, or he tells us, I'd rather you didn't put that, or somebody doesn't want you to put that information out, then that's not correct. That person doesn't want the truth. He wants you to think he wants the truth. But as a 40-year career police officer, the evidence tells me something else. You can tell me whatever you want in my ear, but when I see stuff like this and it says Hatfield McCoy Historical Society, this is a bunch of malarkey. This is a bunch of trash. I challenge Mr. Chaffins and I challenge William Keith Hatfield to show us a 1870 court record where Devil Anse was awarded any property from either Perry Klein or Randall McCoy. Give you two of them. I'll let you have either one or both. Show us a court record, a court document, where he was awarded property from the courts from either one of those guys. Show us a court record for a 1878 pig trial, the disposition of a pig trial. It doesn't matter anything. A pig trial that happened in 1878 with my great-great-grandfather, Preacher Anse Hatfield. I would love for that to happen, because it made Preacher Anse Hatfield, my great-grandfather, famous, because he presided over this pig trial. Isn't it funny that Preacher Anse Hatfield never mentioned that to any of his children, any of his grandchildren? My grandfather, Preacher Anse Hatfield, practically raised Philip McCoy, my grandfather. Practically raised him till he was 30 years old. He was a blacksmith. He taught him to be a blacksmith. Why did he never mention that to my grandfather or my grandmother or anybody? Why did he never mention? Yeah, I was over this pig trial. Never happened, guys. I wish it did. But Mr. Chaffins, if you would, you and William Keith, please show us the pig trial of 1878. We showed you one of 1867. Now show us yours. of 1878. Please show us the record here, 1880. Oh, Bill Staten.
Bill Staten.
Please show us. Please show us through genealogy where Paris and Sam McCoy are the sons of Randall McCoy. Please show us that instead of speaking in the history as if Sam and Paris McCoy was sons of Randall McCoy and they killed somebody else. They murdered somebody else. Why would you do that? Do you not know how to Google genealogy and look up Randall McCoy and look for his children and see if he had a son named Paris McCoy, if he had a son named Samuel McCoy that fit the age limit? And why would you do that? It's too easy. It's like Rio Hatfield in the beginning saying that, well, he didn't know that his grandfather had killed Hubert Bay McCoy, had shot him in the back. He didn't know that. In the beginning, that's what he said. Act like he didn't know nothing about it. Oh, I thought you was a police reserve. I thought you was this. I thought you had all kinds of investigative abilities, but you didn't know this. You didn't know how to Google Alan Hatfield, sentenced to 5 years hard labor. Alan Hatfield murdered two times, indicted, charged with murder. You didn't know. And then he gets talking real fast on the phone. It's on our conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, well, I know he didn't serve no time for it. Well, wait a minute. I thought you didn't know about it. I thought you didn't know anything about it. But now you know that he was convicted, but they appealed it, and he agreed to move to Ohio out of the state, and he could go free because of politics and V.T. Hatfield and the other one. I bought my first car, Mom and Dad did off V.T. Hatfield at W&E Chevrolet in Matewan, West Virginia. My dad and V.T. Hatfield was good friends. My dad was friends with everybody. My dad was nothing like me. But my dad's part of the reason, and people like him, that the Hatfield McCoy history and things has got to the point that it is today because people won't stand up. People didn't want to argue. People didn't want to. And by them not standing up, we have to today, or it's going to go on into eternity. Not that it matters, I guess. I guess when we're dead and gone, be the furthest thing from Fred McCoy's mind. I'll probably wonder why I wasn't reading my Bible more than I was the Hatfield McCoy court records and stuff. But for right now, Sheila and I, we get on something. We get on it.
Yeah, we get tunnel vision kind of. It's just,
well, Hatfield McCoy stuff can get. It's like a drug. It's like an addiction, and especially guys. These fellas make it so easy. They make it so easy. We're not great investigators. We do okay. But we're not great investigators. You don't have to be. You don't have to be a great investigator to go against Jay Shepard, Tony Tackett, Larry Chaffins, William Keith Hatfield. You don't have to be a great investigator to go against Ron McCoy, Rio Hatfield, Jack Hatfield. You don't have to be great. I got you. But you don't. You don't have to be great. You just have to know how to Google, how to research, how to go to a courthouse, how to pick up on BS when somebody's BSing you or trying to BS you. Guys, get busy. Those of you that's really into history, Sheila and I's not going to do this much longer again. Sheila and I was wanting to, if the family ever sells the museum where we can move out of here, we're going to hit the road. We're going to travel the rest of our days. We're going to travel either on a boat or in a shuttle bus. We're going to travel.
We're going to relax.
We haven't done too good at anything else. We might as well just travel and try our hand at that. So, guys, what are you grinning at? You're up, baby. You're up. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Oh, goodness. Guys, we hope you all are doing well. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye. God bless.